Doctors tonight are expressing concern as the growing measles outbreak is reaching Indiana. The Indiana State Health Department confirming an unvaccinated child in Allen County now is affected. And that child, we're told the good news is stable and recovering. Jenny Runovich today talked with the doctor about prevention and keeping our kids safe.
The measles case in Allen County has Hoosier doctors worried. A disease once largely wiped out by vaccines, now spreading again.
What concerns me as a pediatrician is that this didn't have to happen. People think, oh, it's just a few spots and a little rash goes away. No, it's a very bad disease, can cause many types of complications, some serious, some deadly.
Indiana's case follows a nightmare scenario in Texas where 2 children died and hundreds are now infected, almost all of them unvaccinated.
Parents are asking a lot of questions concerning this, and they want to know, the biggest thing is, how do I prevent it? And of course, the biggest thing is, you got to get your child vaccinated.
The MMR vaccines provide strong, long-lasting immunity. In the office now, Dr. Yancey is sharing facts with families, debunking myths about vaccine safety, making sure they know it is not linked to autism.
They've all been, by multiple sciences, multiple studies, in multiple places, been debunked. It was never a cause of autism. It's just not true. These are effective and safe vaccines. Millions of doses have been given.
Health leaders say a vaccination rate of 95% is what's needed to prevent measles outbreaks. But take a look. According to state health department data from last school year, only about 90% of kids in kindergarten were vaccinated for MMR statewide. That's less than the national average. In Marion County, the vaccination rate drops to 85%. And in the donut counties, MMR vaccination rates range from 98% in Shelby to 86% in Morgan County. Doctors want those numbers up as cases grow nationwide.
We certainly don't want a big pool of it coming back, but the best protection, once again, is the vaccination.
All to keep Hoosier kids safe. In Indianapolis, Jenny Runovich, 13 News.
The Indiana Immunization Coalition hosts mobile vaccine clinics all around the state. And in fact, if you'd like to participate, there is one set up for tomorrow. It's to the south in Johnson County. We've got a link for that and also where you can find a clinic coming up near you if you head to our website right now at WTHR.com. Now, keep in mind, the CDC recommends that children receive their first dose of the measles vaccine between the ages of 12 and 15 months. A second dose then is recommended between the ages of 4 and 6. And Jenny mentioned it. 95% vaccination is the goal. And right now, according to the Indiana Department of Health, the state is nearly 10% below that at 84.6% as of 2024. Now that number, however, is about 3% higher than at the end of 2023. But the Indiana Department of Health website shows those vaccination rates for measles specifically are down between 4 and 7% when you look back compared to 2019. So a big question right now is, how do you get the measles? Well, the disease is spread through the air, typically by coughing or sneezing. And here's the important thing to keep in mind. The droplets can stay in a room for up to 2 hours after an infected person leaves. Right now, online at WTHR.com, you can also find a breakdown of measles symptoms, what health experts say is the progression of the virus. And you can find it right now if you go to Scene on 13. It's now 6:03, really a beautiful day today. We had blue skies and sun, but that sun did not help with the temperatures. We still stayed in the low 40s for our highs today.
Yes.
And it's going to be cold tomorrow too.
Yes, temperatures tomorrow morning back into the upper 20s and low 30s. What you see doesn't match how it actually feels out there.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, we've got the blue sky, but temperatures are struggling. Low 40s, and these numbers about 20 colder than our average high. Our average high now up into the low 60s, but we're at 44 Brown County, 41 Crawfordsville, 43 in Indianapolis. That's also so far the high for the day. Coming downtown to cheer on our Pacers. They host the Wizards. Tip off at 7 o'clock. It is jacket weather. Temperatures will be in the 40s for that 7 p.m. tip, and then dropping into the 30s as everyone heads home. Eventually, upper 20s and low 30s. Cold enough that we are back under a freeze warning. If you do have flowers, plants you want to protect, again, bring them inside or cover them up for tonight. Cold start tomorrow morning, but it will be dry early on Wednesday. Morning temperatures in the low 30s. From there, we do warm a bit, not quite as cold. Low 50s tomorrow afternoon, but don't forget the umbrella. Rain develops around lunchtime tomorrow.
Thanks so much, Angela. Crews in Carmel today continue removing debris from the tornado that tore through last Wednesday. Our Karen Campbell spent the day there catching the crews at work, and she shares how one woman caught in the middle of the storm says, you know, despite the damage, she's just truly grateful to be alive.
With chainsaws in hand,
we're just doing cleanup now. It's the long process of cleanup.
Cleanup efforts intensify for crews in the city of Carmel Tuesday, 6 days after an EF1 tornado touched down.
And then we're going door to door as we get the calls, removing any debris or wasted material that's flown around the city and getting it out of their yards.
City leaders tell 13 News 54 homes were impacted, including 5 with major damage. Pam Reisner-Smith and her husband Steve's home was one of them.
It's just overwhelming when part of your house is gone and your furniture's in the neighbors' yards.
Their roof and chimney gone.
The tornado picked our gas grill up out of the cement patio, and then we just watched it take the whole sunroom away.
They thought their outdoor pets had perished in the storm until they learned
they had been hiding in their roost and they were all waiting for their breakfasts. All 5 of our chickens survived.
They're grateful to be alive.
God's been really good to us as far as protecting us.
As neighbors work to rebuild, cleanup efforts continue. In Carmel, Karen Campbell, 13 News.
Tonight, a stretch of Mass Ave on Indy's east side is back open after a crash there that happened early this morning around 6 o'clock. Police say several cars got into a crash that caused a fire hydrant to leak, and that covered a portion of Mass Ave just east of Emerson. Officers then blocked off the road between Emerson and North Ritter for about 12 hours as crews worked to clean up the damage there. A new state law will make it illegal for state agencies to buy luxury vehicles, and this law will go into effect starting July 1st. Today, Rich Nye talked to the author of that bill, who wants the lieutenant governor to trade in his top-of-the-line SUV that was bought with Indiana taxpayer dollars.
Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith has engaged in a social media battle with State Representative Mitch Gore over the 2025 Chevy Tahoe High Country purchased by Beckwith's office in February for almost $88,000. Gore's bipartisan supported legislation says state offices can only buy standard model vehicles and no vehicles from a luxury brand.
It's common sense policy to not buy luxury SUVs with taxpayer money. And I don't like having to legislate common decency, but apparently I needed to, and they really need to sell those vehicles and get something more reasonable.
Beckwith said he might trade in the Tahoe for a Tesla Cybertruck and parked one, apparently borrowed, in the State House lot Monday.
The lieutenant governor did preside over Tuesday's state Senate session, but was not available for an interview. His office did provide a brief statement.
The lieutenant governor wants to show President Trump and Elon Musk that Hoosiers support everything they're doing. At the State House, Rich Nye, 13 News.